Hey, so I haven't shot a video of my project car, what I've been working on in a long time, so I thought, update, now's a good time, I got some stuff I can talk about. Dogs heard me talking, got barking. So anyhow, I'm gonna turn around and show you what's going on with this, what I've been doing, what I've been working on, and how I feel about like this hood and everything, so let you guys know about it. Um, so let's see. One of the things is this is called a Lenham style bonnet. I got it through. There's a company that makes it. It's called Honeyborn Moldings. They're in the UK. They don't ship to the US. The US supplier is Mini Mania. Nobody sponsored me for anything. I'm not trying to do like a special channel or anything. It's just kind of like putting information there and keeping track. I can look back, all that cool stuff. So minimania.com, I guess the people that import this. Shipping was as much as the bonnet, but it was what I wanted, so it was worth it to me. So here it is. And we'll go around. Oh, and I've just been a lot of the little things I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm teaching myself as I go along. I've never done this before. So a lot of times I come out here, I'm just like, I'm going to poke around, and then I start getting to doing stuff and going through puzzles, figuring things out. And I'm not thinking to like record or anything. So I'll let you know. Let's just kind of walk around, talk about what's happening with the car. I know there's going to be stuff people don't like, and okay, so here we go. So first, here's the bonnet. So I got cut out for the hood vents, latch. I'm gonna do the hood vents like I did here on my Spitfire. Got these sitting over here to work on. Dirty finger template, turn signals, check that out. These are from a Triumph Toledo. Anyhow, they're plastic, got them from Rimmers. They were not very expensive at all. There's the differential. I'm gonna put a Phantom Grip limited slip unit in there. I may do a video about that so people can see what that's about. So coming over here, we've got, put the bulge in there. The GT6 bonnets, they told me, were lost in a fire. The moldings were, and so they had them listed as Spitfire / GT6. I went back and forth with them, and then they finally sent me like the bulge to graft in on my own. So did that. Let's see. I've got down here the turn signals. You can see the yellow tape. I had all these triangulation lines going all over the place, just trying to figure out where everything merged and get everything just where I wanted. I got it what I want drawn out on there, so I know it's not on there perfect. But I'm using these yellow side marker lights from the Spitfire. Let's see if I can put an LED in there and make it brighter, and that gives me a little bit of reflector as well on the side. And I like the low profileness of it, so it's smooth against there. One of the things I was thinking about doing is maybe putting like some kind of like, there's a scoop right here to open up, because the air goes straight in there and can go directly to the disc brakes. I may or may not do it depending on how all this looks when I've got it done. If I was racing this car, totally, but this is going to be mostly like a fun car. Let's see, I'm gonna go back and forth. So I know a lot of people, this is gonna be like a lot of fun for autocrossing if I wanted to do that. I've been really curious about autocrossing for a while, but to be honest with you, hadn't gotten into it because, looks a lot of fun. Flat parking lot, cones and all that, and like the roads here just like are just too awesome. I live in the mountains of western North Carolina. It's like, I know some people have heard of Tail of the Dragon. That's not too far away in Maggie Valley. But I got roads like everywhere all around me that are just as good, if not better. And that's my daily driving. I use this as my daily driver. And it's full of race car parts and other fun stuff. And it's got overdrive. And so like just driving to and from work is just as fun. So I can go, if any of you guys live western North Carolina, I'm just outside of Asheville. You take New Leicester Highway up towards Hot Springs. It's like crazy switchbacks. Like you can't get above 25 miles an hour, and you're like stuck in second gear because it's just like so windy, climbing straight up and then comes back down, and just so I mean, like the roads around here, the speed limits, they set them at like 45 because they know people can't really drive in 45 unless you're from here. So the speed limits are like for the locals, and then they don't monitor it because It's just like all these windy back roads, and that's where I live. Makes it very fun driving one of these things. So, going back to this, and I'll show you some more ideas I got. So here's that. The dirty finger template I was showing you is for this. May work on that today. I got this. This really puts it all together. This nose badge, I think it's from moving around all the stuff in early Spitfire. So got that in there. The grill, this is just like 1/4-inch mesh. I think it kind of gives it more of that rugged race car look, so I really like it. And so these black screws, but the angle's kind of funny. I think I need to get some longer screws. They're not sitting perfectly flush. I may change this. It chipped some of the gel coat, so I got to come back in here with the green filler, and there's gonna be so much, just like little tiny bits of this and that and everything to get it all together. You know, coming here, the headlight buckets, this was a separate part, so I had to use body filler in here, so this is smooth. Use the green stuff, I'll come back in with the pink stuff later to do all the final whatnots. Let me show you about fitment. This is where I'm not as happy with this thing. So I just got all the proper hardware for the hinges so I can tighten it up and get it fitting just how I wanted. And then we come over here to here, and it's kind of okay. I'm seeing now this needs to tilt that way. This needs to come down some. It's just, so I've got this is like flat here. I need gap there, but this is flush here. So it's almost like it's too long on this side. And we look and you see this body line just looks like ugly. See, it's thin there, then it gets thicker here. Well, what's going on is like this is perpendicular and then it comes in this way. And so it's not like perpendicular, which that's stupid. So talk about some other stuff. I got here, this is somewhat acceptable. The whole thing really feels like needs to shift that way just a little bit, but that still doesn't solve the problem. So I'm gonna have to do like a little bit of this and that and everything in between. This is what really is like, the first thing I noticed that really bothered me, this body line here just sucks. And you see how it's narrow here and it gets really wide out there, then it gets really narrow over there. So we're coming over here to this side again and look, and so then I've got this huge gap here and this doesn't come all the way down. Okay, so what I've done, you know, I'm just like trying all these things, trying not to go too far, is took a Dremel, cut here so I can press this back, and I think I need to take just a little bit more here to get it how I want it. And just gonna use some panel bond, that there, but you see how tight this comes on this side, and then it gets all sorts of wide. I've thought of all sorts of different ways to do this, and there's just no pretty way about it. It is what it is. So what I'm gonna have to do, and I don't like this, but I think this is what it'll solve it, is some of the green Bondo, build up a little bit here to add a little bit extra lip. This is fiberglass after all. If it was metal, that'd be a different story. To give a little bit extra lip to bring this body line closer. We've also got, you see how this comes up here, this stays flat here. So this is like, this does not match this. Crazy stuff. And then we don't have the vents cut out here. This had the vents in it, but you had to cut them all out, and it just looked like crap and looked like it wouldn't look good. And so what I decided is to leave this solid, and the reason being, this car is awesome. There's practically no rust on it, but it's got to have some rust because it does get water inside the cockpit when it rains, and I'm 98% certain after going through everything, it's through these vents here down into the air intake box for the heater, and so that leaks under the dash and then like peas on your feet. So what I'm doing Let's see if we can get under here and see, give it a shot. I got a dummy motor in there. So, all right. So I realized, like looking back, that getting under here, my thumb hit the record button, which is really the stop button, so you didn't see the thing. And then I was talking to myself for a while, so let's kind of hit the reset. So down here, there's the cut. I'm gonna pretty it up more later. It was kind of more of an idea. So let's see if I can remember what I was talking about, and so I'm not repeat myself. I might say stuff I said before, but there it is. So it's gonna pull in from the cabin instead of from up here, because you know it's a convertible. The cabin air is all circulating and everything and whatnot. And I think this is, I can't remember if I mentioned this, low pressure zone, pulls air. I don't like it being there because of the rust issue. What else was I talking about? That's a tough one. I'm just kind of like reviewing. Also, I mentioned there's this frame here. This is for this green GT6. I don't know, green Spitfire that I'm restoring. I'm not doing any videos on this. It's just I think what I mentioned is like, so when you have ADHD like me and like you get stuck on one thing, it's nice having multiple projects happening at once because you know, it's like I'm not sure what to do with this, but I can like put in, or I'm waiting on, I gotta save money for parts for this, and I can put in a little bit elbow grease and like do something with this, and so you know, it all kind of works. Oh, there's awesome. If you hadn't seen this out of the box, there's the overdrive transmission for this car over here. Absolutely beautiful. So you can say there was that. Coming over here, I don't think I mentioned, all right, I was talking to myself, the body lines. So I've been working on a lot of that stuff. And this door gap, the other door gap looks pretty good. This one, I've got this big gap up here, and then it gets all narrow down there. I think what's going on is a matter of shims. I was thinking maybe of like cutting and shifting, but I think if the body was twisted a little bit to where it dropped a little bit on this side or raised a little bit on that side, what would happen is this door would clock this way just a little bit and our lines will line up just right. So this isn't totally mounted yet. What I'm gonna do is, once this Spitfire is more together, I'm gonna take the tub off, put on here, rebuilt the differential the other week, it's looking great, silver, and replace the differential, do all the final stuff under there, bolt it for good, hopefully, and then, you know, get ready for paint. Then I think I mentioned this is like the big controversial thing over here is I got this wing on the back, and I put that there because I like it, so there. And honestly too, I like the way it looks and it fits. I wanted something low profile that does the job. And I've taken a ton of weight off the back and off the whole car, so it's going to need something to glue it down just a little bit more when it gets faster, going faster. So it's got functional purpose as well too. Some plexiglass. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not. Gonna cut that 2 different pieces and shape the headlight surrounds. I've got some really cool screw-in rivets that I'm gonna use to attach those. Other stuff will come later with that. We'll see how that goes. And then back here with the lights. I think I'm about ready to order the lights. I'm gonna get some round lights for back here for the new tail. Let's see, I've like taken the seam off. There's a lot of little body work to do, but overall this car is a lot further along than it looks like it is. Most of what I need, and those aren't the seats that are going in it, most of what I need is like interior. I need dash or gauges and whatnot. I'm gonna make a custom dash, but you know, you take the body off and the frame looks beautiful. So I think that's all the stuff I was talking about. I can't remember. I've got parts from another car. I bought a parts car off a buddy, thinking that I'd have tons of really great parts I could use for this car. Unfortunately, half the parts were missing because it was all like disassembled. totally bummed. But I mean, and then engine, it's a lot of surface rust. I'm gonna see if I can clean it up, do something with it or not. But I knew there's some good parts on there I could sell, make my money back, and then there's a couple things I can get for this, but it was, I don't know, a little bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. So I think those were the things I kind of wanted to talk about. Hopefully I didn't miss too much when I was like talking to myself and not recording. So, actually, I think I'll probably throw the thing I said afterwards on the end of this, because I said it once already and it's recorded and don't have to say it again. So, I'll say later now, but I'm going to say later. So later. Really nimble. So anyhow, I think that's that. I'm going to go poke and paint and scrape and drill and all those things and go play in the garage. So, oh, damn. Did I stop and restart the recording? I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, hope you're having fun with your projects. I inspire you a little bit. I get to share what I'm doing, and I appreciate seeing everyone else's projects, because when I'm like, it's too cold, I'm not feeling like working on this. I like to watch videos of what other people are doing, get inspired, and that's fun, and so that's inspired me to make videos too. So, all right, there it is. Later.